Jesus is new to the scene. He just got baptized by John the Baptist, and now he's kind of gathering his disciples. He traveled to Cana. Cana is about 4 to 10 miles from Jesus' hometown of Nazareth. So he's there with Mary, his mother, and his disciples. Mary comes to Jesus with this problem, saying they're out of wine. And to us, that might, Central Pennsylvania, that might seem like a big deal, but to us, that doesn't maybe seem like a huge deal, like running out of wine. But it would be more like if you wanted to compare this to, like imagine you're at a wedding and you find out they ran out of food. And so it would be like a big disaster for the bride and the groom, and in this culture, especially for the groom, because it was kind of his job to take care of all this stuff. And it would almost appear as if like it didn't matter to him, like he just kind of like, it was like a second thought, where it should have been like a very important thing for this groom to do. So yeah, Mary seemed to have some sort of importance in this, because she's the one who takes some sort of leadership role or responsibility in this wine running out. She thinks it's, her place to go to Jesus and say like, hey, I know you can fix this. And Jesus kind of says back to her, like, woman, like, what does this have to do with us? My hour has not yet come. All the times he talks about my hour is when he's talking about his death on the cross. And when he says my hour has not yet come, what he means is it's not time for me to die on the cross right now. Like, what does this have to do with my death? He's doing this almost like in private. He could have went to the groom, hey, look what I'm about to do for you, or went to the master of the party who's serving the wine and done it in front of him, but he does it to the servants. She still tells the servants, just do what he says. So she still had faith in him, which is kind of neat. I mean, if you think about it, she raised him. So she probably knew some of these things that she did know these things that he was capable of. And so she tells the servants, just do whatever he says. He points out these big jars of water, and they were for purification. They're what you use to wash your hands. He tells them, dip out of these jars and take them to the master of the party. So they do this, and all of these jars that were once filled with water, all of a sudden they are now wine. And now they bring the wine to the master of the party, and he tastes it, and the thing he says, where did this wine come from? Usually you serve the best wine first, and this is the best wine, and why is it served at the end? Because back in that time, it was like a week-long celebration. It wasn't just a one-day, 3-hour after wedding party. It was a big celebration, and this is towards the end of it. He did this just in front of the servants, his disciples, and his mother. So they're the only ones who truly know where this wine came from. So it was a big ceremony, and which kind of adds to the possibility of embarrassment, is not just, oh, my family and friends, they'll forgive me. They know it's the entire community is going to potentially witness this disaster that this groom kind of screwed up with and his family screwed up with. Now, instead of this groom being embarrassed, and actually at the time they could have taken legal issues against him. He could have owed the bride's family, compensation for this. So instead of that, it's now this huge relief, and it's even bigger. It's like, you didn't run out of wine, you now have the best wine. Like, you're known for the guy who, serves the best wine at the end of the party now. So Jesus comes to the rescue and turns that water into wine. Jesus comes in, saves the day socially, but it's also a foreshadowing of, he didn't just say oh, go grab that empty wine container and we'll just refill it. It's, hey, look at these jars that are meant for spirit, for cleansing before you have this ceremony. And he says, these are gonna, we use these to wash our hands in, and they can't be contaminated. And here I'm gonna fill them with wine, just kind of show you they can't clean you spiritually. But this wine's going to foreshadow. I'm an English teacher, I love foreshadowing. This wine's gonna foreshadow my blood, and it's gonna be what truly can cleanse you. It's not gonna be these big stone jars that cleanse you. In Genesis 49, Jacob tells Judah, you will cleanse yourself in wine. And I would imagine Judah was probably what are you talking about? Wine's red? And he even mentions that the blood of grapes. So it kind of gives the hint of the blood. There's other parts of scripture. I believe Amos, it talks about it's going to be an abundance of wine when the Messiah comes. So also points to why Jesus just didn't fill one bottle or one little vat of wine. He took all of those 6, and this would be 120 to 180 gallons of wine. So it kind of fulfills that messianic prophecy of, this is a lot of wine that's going to come when the Messiah comes. Every time there's a miracle, there's some gospel lesson. It's not just for those people of that time in the Bible. It's to teach us something. And this one's kind of easy to point out. It's the blood of Christ, on that cross. That's what's going to cleanse us, not these vats of water, not these big jars of water. So the groom screwed up majorly. Back in the day, it was a big deal to not have wine at your wedding. And like, we do things that we think might be a big deal, like, oh, I'm beyond Christ's, redemption. And Jesus didn't just cast him aside. So this guy didn't care about his wedding. He's done. He redeemed him. The groom goes from the potential like outcast of the community to now he's the man. Like, he's got the best wine at the end of the party. Like, why did he save all this for us? This is awesome. So he almost turns the groom into like a hero when he could have been just ridiculed and owed his in-laws big time. And it wasn't like he showed him on display first. Like, hey, look at this guy, he's a loser. He just wanted, let me come in, be the hero and save him. But he stepped in anyway and redeemed this guy. This miracle that Jesus creates with turning water into wine, he didn't heal somebody. He didn't walk on water with this miracle. And some people may want to just write it off as just a small miracle. But when you think about the capacity of this miracle, turning all of this water into wine, what Jesus did is miraculous.